thoughts on the Rampage Jackson situation of Raja Jackson and the wrestler? This has been going quite viral over social media recently.
Oh, yes, the Raja thing.
What, you don't know me?
Hell no. Yeah.
Hey, I think that's a little thing.
You never know. Y'all keep playing with me and I'll go back and take it.
The internet has been on fire ever since Raja Jackson's shocking in-ring attack went viral. Wrestling fans, casual viewers, and even mainstream celebrities have all been weighing in, but one voice stood out immediately: KSI himself. Known for his blunt takes and massive influence online, KSI's reaction not only validated how shocking this situation really was, it also raised serious questions about whether Raja Jackson has crossed a line that wrestling may never recover from. But what exactly did KSI say? Why are so many people confused about whether this was real or staged? And how did this moment spiral into legal speculation, fan outrage, and a media storm unlike anything wrestling has seen in years?
Yeah, that mad. Honestly, the whole situation, I couldn't tell if it was real when I first saw it, because you know how sometimes in wrestling they like to do some stuff hardcore. Like whether it's barbed wire or, getting hit with things. But yeah, I saw it. He was just getting punched repeatedly while the guy was unconscious. So I was like, is this a bit? And, I think I saw clips of beforehand where the guy or one of the guys was saying, you got to get your receipt on this guy because he hit him with a can, or he hit Raja with a can. But then I saw that they apologized. So I was like, I'm very confused. And then come to find out that, yeah, he just lost control. So, yeah, not a good look.
When KSI was asked about the Raja Jackson situation, he didn't hold back. His very first reaction was confusion, and that's exactly what most people felt when the clip first surfaced. He admitted he couldn't even tell if it was staged because wrestling has a long history of blurring the lines between reality and performance. He compared it to the hardcore era of wrestling, when chairs, barbed wire, and even broken glass were used for shock value. But the difference this time? The violence didn't stop when the opponent went limp. KSI highlighted that Raja kept swinging even after the wrestler was unconscious, and that was the breaking point where even seasoned fans knew something wasn't right. And that's where KSI set the tone. If even he, someone who's seen everything from boxing knockouts to YouTube beefs, thought this was too far, you know the situation had crossed a dangerous line.
Damn, y'all. It's not looking too good for Buddy. This man can potentially cross over to the other side. The man Rampage Jackson's son put into the hospital.
KSI dove deeper, admitting that he initially thought this might be part of a storyline. After all, wrestling thrives on drama. He even referenced how wrestlers sometimes say things like, "You've gotta get your receipt," industry slang for payback in the ring. KSI recalled seeing earlier clips where Raja himself had been hit with a can, leading many fans to assume this was retaliation. But when apologies surfaced afterward, it only made the situation messier. According to KSI, it looked less like scripted violence and more like someone completely losing control. And here's where things get chilling. If Raja couldn't separate entertainment from reality in that moment, what does that mean for his future in the industry? By the end of his reaction, KSI made it clear this was not a good look. He stressed that losing control in the ring crosses every boundary that wrestling is built on. It wasn't just reckless, it was dangerous, unprofessional, and potentially career-ending. And because it was KSI saying this, the clip instantly spread even further. Fans started tagging Raja, demanding responses, and debating whether wrestling promoters should cut ties altogether. KSI's opinion turned what could have been an isolated controversy into a mainstream talking point. But here's the thing, KSI wasn't the only one asking hard questions. Behind the scenes, this incident was about to open the floodgates of speculation, legal consequences, and rivalries that no one saw coming. The first wave of reactions online was total chaos. Some viewers swore the whole thing was staged, pointing to wrestling's history of pushing limits. Others argued that Raja's punches looked far too real, especially since his opponent stopped moving halfway through. Clips slowed down and analyzed frame by frame went viral on TikTok and Twitter. Fans argued over tiny details. Was Raja still selling the performance, or was this a legitimate beatdown? What made things worse was that multiple wrestlers chimed in with mixed messages. One claimed it was just part of the show, while another hinted Raja had gone rogue. The conflicting statements only added to the confusion, and fans felt like they were being lied to. But the real story behind what triggered Raja's meltdown, that was still waiting to be uncovered. In wrestling culture, the idea of a receipt has existed for decades. If one wrestler accidentally hurts another, they sometimes expect payback in the next match. A stiff punch, a harder slam, something to even the score. Reports suggest Raja might have been holding a grudge over that infamous can shot. But what made this situation different is that receipts are supposed to be controlled. Raja's punches weren't controlled. They looked like someone in a street fight. Fans compared it to moments in wrestling history when performers snapped, like when a botched move turned real or when rivalries spilled over outside the ring. But Raja's incident stood out for one chilling reason. The other wrestler was clearly defenseless. And that's where whispers of legal action started creeping in. The most shocking turn? Lawyers got involved. While nothing official had been confirmed in the early days, rumors spread that Raja Jackson's opponent was considering legal action for assault. Wrestling may be scripted, but the law doesn't care if punches happen inside or outside a ring. Speculative reports even suggested the promotion itself could be liable if they failed to protect their talent. That opened up a whole new can of worms, because if this incident was proven real, sponsors and networks could quickly back away. Fans immediately started debating online, was Raja's career over before it had even begun? Could this single moment in the ring end with him in court? And while all this legal drama was swirling, Raja himself stayed silent, which only made people more furious. When Raja finally spoke, it didn't go the way fans hoped. Instead of a full apology, his comments came across as vague and defensive. He admitted emotions got the best of him, but claimed people were exaggerating. This only made fans angrier. Screenshots of his statement circulated with comments like, "This isn't accountability," and "He doesn't even sound sorry." The silence from promoters only fueled the backlash, making it look like the entire industry was trying to sweep things under the rug. But then, something unexpected happened. KSI's name got dragged back into the conversation. Clips of KSI calling the incident not a good look began trending again, this time framed as proof that even outsiders saw the problem clearly. Fans used KSI's credibility to hammer home their point. If someone who isn't even a wrestling insider can see how bad this was, why is Raja downplaying it? Some even edited side-by-side videos of KSI's boxing matches compared to Raja's punches, joking that KSI had more control in a real fight than Raja did in fake wrestling. KSI didn't respond to the memes directly, but his reaction video became the centerpiece of the controversy all over again, showing just how much weight his voice carries. And while fans were roasting Raja online, promoters were quietly scrambling behind the scenes. The wrestling promotion responsible for the match faced a nightmare situation. If they admitted it was real, they'd risk lawsuits. If they insisted it was fake, fans would accuse them of covering up violence. Sponsors reportedly expressed concern, with some even threatening to pull support if the controversy continued. Wrestling relies heavily on brand deals and TV partnerships, and losing them could cripple a company overnight. The promotion's silence only made fans more suspicious. Rumors spread that they were debating whether to suspend Raja or quietly push him out. And while executives panicked, wrestlers themselves began choosing sides, which made everything even more explosive. Wrestlers within the promotion started speaking anonymously to dirt sheets and wrestling podcasts. Some defended Raja, saying the industry has always had rough moments. Others condemned him, calling it reckless and dangerous. This split mirrored the fan base. One camp argued Raja was just being old-school hardcore. The other camp saw it as a blatant assault that risked someone's life. And once again, KSI's reaction got dragged into the debate, with one wrestler even saying, if KSI can see it's wrong, then so can Raja. But the damage was already done. Raja's reputation was unraveling, and what came next would make things even worse. It didn't take long for brands to act. Social media users noticed that Raja's merch links quietly disappeared from certain stores. Other partnerships he had been teasing went silent. Brands don't like controversy, and Raja's name was trending for all the wrong reasons. Fans pointed out how quickly companies distanced themselves from KSI during past controversies, and they predicted Raja would face the same fate. And they were right. Speculative reports suggested Raja's earning potential had already dropped dramatically, but then a new twist entered the story: rumors about Raja's mental state. Some insiders began hinting that Raja had been under extreme stress leading up to the match. Training pressures, injuries, and personal drama were all rumored to have played a role. Fans debated whether this was a genuine explanation or just damage control. Was Raja a victim of the system or simply someone who snapped under the spotlight? The conversation shifted again, with some fans expressing sympathy while others accused him of making excuses. But then, just when things seemed like they couldn't get more dramatic, a rival wrestler decided to speak out, and that's when the feud went nuclear. When asked about the now viral incident, KSI admitted he wasn't even sure if the whole thing was real the first time he saw it. That alone should tell you how surreal the video looked. KSI compared it to those over-the-top hardcore wrestling stunts, the ones with barbed wire, steel chairs, and bloodied faces. At first glance, he thought it was just another scripted shock moment. But what made him stop in his tracks was seeing Raja continue throwing punches long after his opponent was clearly unconscious. KSI's confusion actually mirrors what thousands of fans felt. Nobody could tell if it was entertainment or an unhinged assault, until the truth came out. KSI didn't mince words once he realized it wasn't a staged bit. He flat out said Raja lost control. For someone like KSI, who's seen both the entertainment and fighting industries up close, that kind of statement carries weight. He admitted the whole thing was not a good look, not for Raja, not for wrestling, and not for the sport's reputation. But while KSI's reaction grabbed headlines, some fans argue he was too nice with his words. Immediately after his comments, fans started drawing comparisons between Raja and KSI himself. Remember, KSI has been in the ring, boxing Logan Paul, Joe Fournier, and others under the pressure of millions watching. He's been hit with cheap shots, elbows, and even had fights stopped controversially. But not once did he completely lose his composure like Raja did. Fans are now pointing to KSI's reaction as proof that Raja's outburst wasn't just heat of the moment, it was a total breakdown. But the deeper we go, the more disturbing this story gets. Because the fallout for Raja Jackson didn't end in the ring. It might just be beginning. The clip of Raja raining down punches went viral within hours, circulating on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Wrestling fans, casual viewers, and even non-fans who never heard of Raja before were horrified. What should have been a dramatic match turned into something that felt more like a real-life assault. The footage was shared with captions like, "This is crossing the line," and "He should be banned for life." But what the internet didn't know yet was that backstage, tensions had been building long before Raja ever stepped into the ring that night. Not long after the clip exploded online, whispers began spreading about what might have triggered Raja. Some fans claimed his opponent had hit him earlier in the match with a steel can, an unscripted, reckless move that left Raja dazed. In wrestling, there's a term for payback like this, a receipt. Basically, if a wrestler goes too far, the other guy gets permission to even the score. And in the days following the incident, a clip resurfaced of another wrestler saying Raja had it coming and that he needed to be given a receipt. But here's the thing, even if that's true, a receipt in wrestling is supposed to be controlled. It's a stiff punch, a slam, or a move that says, "Don't mess with me." What Raja did wasn't controlled, it was rage. And rage inside a ring, in front of cameras and a live crowd, has consequences far beyond just one match. Within days, other wrestlers began weighing in. Some defended Raja, saying wrestling is built on emotion and that accidents happen. But the majority condemned him, saying he crossed a line that could ruin opportunities for everyone else. One veteran even tweeted, "We put our trust in each other every time we step in the ring. If you break that trust, you don't belong in this business." That statement hit hard. Wrestling is built on the idea that both performers are working with each other, even in brutal-looking moments. If one wrestler turns it into a real fight, the illusion collapses, and so does the safety net. But while the wrestling community debated, fans noticed something much bigger brewing in the background: whispers of legal action. Here's where the story gets serious. According to multiple reports, Raja's opponent had to be taken to a hospital after the attack. While no official statement has confirmed the full extent of the injuries, rumors suggest he was left concussed and needed further evaluation. That changes everything, because if prosecutors decide Raja's actions went beyond entertainment, he could face real-world consequences. Assault inside a wrestling ring might sound complicated legally, but it's not impossible. Lawyers have weighed in online, pointing out that while wrestlers consent to physicality, they don't consent to being repeatedly attacked after losing consciousness. That could cross the line into criminal territory. And if you think legal trouble is far-fetched, think again, because history shows wrestlers have been punished before. This isn't the first time a wrestling moment has gone too far. Back in the 1990s, there were infamous incidents where wrestlers were blacklisted for breaking character and injuring their opponents for real. More recently, promotions have suspended or outright fired performers for crossing the line. Fans are now wondering if Raja is about to become the latest name on that list. But here's where things get even wilder, because KSI's comments may have unintentionally fueled the backlash against Raja. After KSI's interview went live, clips of him saying Raja lost control were shared across social media. And because KSI has millions of fans and a massive platform, those words spread fast. Suddenly, people who didn't even know about wrestling were calling Raja dangerous, unprofessional, and done for. Some argue that KSI's voice, respected both in sports and entertainment, tipped public opinion against Raja almost overnight. But not everyone agreed with KSI. In fact, some fans turned on him, accusing him of hypocrisy. It didn't take long for critics to dig into KSI's past fights. They pulled up clips of his most controversial boxing moments, elbows, scrappy clinches, and borderline illegal hits, and asked, how is this different? While KSI never lost control to the point of striking an unconscious opponent, the internet debate was heated. Some fans argued KSI was holding Raja to a standard he didn't always meet himself. At the end of the day, Raja Jackson's attack has become bigger than just wrestling. It's now a cultural talking point, and the fact that someone like KSI felt compelled to speak on it shows how wide the ripple effect has spread. Whether you agree with him or not, KSI's reaction helped frame Raja as someone who crossed an unforgivable line, and that narrative is only gaining momentum. Promotions are reportedly rethinking Raja's future. Sponsors don't want their names tied to a scandal like this. And as whispers of legal action grow louder, the question isn't just if Raja's career is over, it's whether his life outside the ring is about to change forever. And maybe that's the harshest reality of all. One night of losing control could erase years of hard work. Raja Jackson may have wanted to prove a point, but instead he's become a warning. And as for KSI, fans will keep watching to see if he doubles down, walks back his comments, or even uses his platform to push wrestling and combat sports toward more accountability. But now we want to hear from you. Was Raja simply caught up in the heat of the moment, or do you agree with KSI that he lost control in a way that can't be excused? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss the next update. Because trust me, this story is far from over.